What's up everyone, it's your friendly neighborhood French Canadian, and today I'm going to show you a really fun dual dagger poison build. So the classic rogue class, if you will. I'm going to show you everything you need to know from the Ashes of War, the incantations, the build stats, and the weapons. And I'll also show you 2 specific talismans you want to use with this. And a lot of the things we're going to need is actually in Kindred, so you should be around, level 50 to 60 if you want to make this build. To get the Ash of War Poison Moth flight, we'll have to fight a Knight's Cavalry in Kindred. So he roams around this area. You can take the Southern Aeonia Swamp Bank, Site of Grace. So we're going to go ahead and beat him up. Oh. It's like we're jousting except using swords. And he's using a flail and missing me. Don't know about that flame bud. And you'll get this Ash of War. This Ash of War kind of works a bit like Bloody Slash or Bloodblade. It's in the same vein, except it's way slower. So next we're going to get the Poison Mist incantation. It's optional, you don't need it. It really depends on what Ash of War you want to use on your weapons. But I'll still show you where to get it. So you want to go into the Weeping Peninsula. And you want to take the Castlemorn Rampart Site of Grace. The scarab you'll need to kill for this incantation will be in this area right here. As you come up to it, you will see this little guy right here. And there you go. Poison Mist. And next up is the Poison Mist Ash of War, not the incantation. So it's going to be around this area right here. As you make your way through this disgusting swamp, the scarab should be right on top of here. Now for the talismans, we'll be using the Kindred of Rot's Exaltation, which increases your attack power when there's poisoning or rot. So obviously this will apply to us. And then we'll use Crepus's Vial, which makes all movement silent. So we can be a very stealthy rogue assassin. Now the Kindred of Rot's Exaltation talisman will be in Seedwater Cave. The way you get to this, you need to go to the Altus Plateau. You can start from Earthtree Grazing Hill, and you're gonna make your way up here through these runes, and then you'll be able to go in the river down below, the Seedwater River. But I will show you from the Seedwater River how to get there. So this is where you need to be. You'll need 2 stone swords to be able to unlock this area. Now you'll have to fight the bosses, which is a duo of those gross looking shrimp things with glaives. They're called pests, I believe. You'll have to defeat those and you will get the talisman. For Crepus's Vial talisman, you'll need to complete the Volcano Manor quests, the first 2, and then you will get this talisman as a reward for killing the second guy. So basically, if you haven't done this already, you have to accept becoming part of Volcano Manor. She'll give you quests, which are basically other tarnished you have to assassinate, and they will be marked on your map, so it'll be easy to find. The last one I use is the Prosthesis Wearer Heirloom. As usual, for a Dex build, it's really great. It gives you +5 Dex, and you get it from completing a part of Millicent's questline, who you find in Kindred. Now for the weapons, you could use the Venomous Fangs. It's a claw weapon, and it has 72 poison buildup. But as I think they're completely ugly, and I wanted to specifically make a rogue class with daggers, I'm going to be using double great knives. Now unfortunately you actually have to farm for these if you're not bandit class, but it shouldn't take too long. And actually, you can find them here in a craftsman's shack. But the way you get to them is a bit weird, so I will show you the path. So follow along if you want to. Now once you get here, you will need to farm 4 demi-humans. 2 of them are hidden here between the sheeps. There will be 2 here. And there will be another 2 coming after. They're right here. So you have to kill all these 4 every time you spawn. I chose these knives specifically because they have one of the best dex scaling once fully leveled up. And not only will you get poison buildup with this build, but you also get blood loss buildup. So I think these are really great. When you have everything you need collected, you're gonna come back here or at a site of grace. What I did was I put Poisonous Mist on the dagger that's going to be in my main hand because I think Poisonous Mist is just better for this build. You can also do Poison Moth Flight, but it really depends on what you specifically want. In my opinion, you should use Moth Flight for a boss fight, and then you should use Poisonous Mist when you're just roaming around in the open world. So what you can do is just put 1 on each dagger, and then switch them hand however you see fit. I also made you guys get Poison Mist. You can do this if you don't want to use the Poisonous Mist Ash of War. So you can use any starting class that has a lot of dex with this. Right now this is my Confessor character and I was able to make this class no problem, so it really doesn't matter what you choose. But if you want to start with this, something like Warrior, Bandit or Samurai will be your best choices for this. For the stats you'll want something like this. Right now I have 35 Vigor, 20 Endurance, 41 Dexterity and 28 Arcane. So the Arcane again is for the Poison Affinity you will put on the daggers. That will increase your damage as well as the damage of Poison Mist. And now the daggers will scale with both Dexterity and Arcane, but you actually want Dexterity to be higher for this build because the daggers we chose, they scale better with Dexterity than they will with Arcane or Strength. But again, you still want some Arcane for the poison damage. Ideally, you'd want like your Dexterity at 50, maybe your Arcane at 35, 40. And then the rest you want to pump up in Endurance and Vigor. Especially Endurance, you'll be doing a lot of up-close fighting. So because I know people will be asking me in the comments, I'll show you where to get the gear I'm wearing. The mask you can get from the vendor here, the Nomadic Merchant. You can use the Saint's Bridge to get to him, he sells the mask. To get the chest piece, you want to go in Caelid, where we killed that Knight's Cavalry. The Nomadic Merchant there will be selling the entire, it's called a champion set. and they'll be selling the entire set there. Personally, I like the Vulgar Militia gloves and the greaves for this. You can farm these guys easily in Caelid. The best way you can farm them is right here. They'll be like in this area. There's like 7 of them. So you can farm them pretty easily right here. So enemies might be resistant to poison, but with those enemies at least you'll have blood loss to do damage to them. Okay, chill out guys, chill out. Not that serious. Oh my gosh. So now that I got poison, I got a damage buff. Oh my gosh. If I don't die. The damage is really amplified with the talisman. And he's already poisoned. That's not nice. Alright, well, he's already dead. So that's the build, guys. I think it's a really fun one. You can get 2 damage types and you get to fight up close, and for enemies that might be more resistant to poison and bleed, you'll have an easier time sneaking up on them and getting a critical or a backstab. So that's it for this video, guys. I have plenty more of Elden Ring videos on my channel, as well as more builds. So have yourself a wonderful day, and I'll see you all very soon.